Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we look at an article regarding Laura Pidcock, who is a ex-Labour MP that lost a seat in the last general election. Seems like Labour can't play fair ever. They must cheat.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
It's titled, Ex-Labour MP told to pay taxpayer £3,835 for breaking rules to sway 2019 election result. Yep, you heard that right. This ex-MP tried to cheat and still lost a seat. Now that's ineptitude at its worst, is it not? How is that even possible? Makes you wonder what decimation she would have received if she hadn't tried and swayed the public, doesn't it? Let's read this article, shall we? Former Labour MP Laura Pidcock has been ordered to pay nearly £4,000 back to the British taxpayer after being found guilty of abusing parliamentary expenses for political ends in the lead up to December's general election. An investigation by Parliament's Commissioner for Standards found the former Labour MP for North West Durham, who lost her seat in the general election, sent thousands of elderly constituents letters detailing changes to rules around TV licences for those aged over 75. Sounds fine, doesn't it? But the Commissioner ruled alterations made by Miss Pidcock to a letter template provided by the Parliamentary Research Service resulted in her mailing becoming party political in tone and context, and no longer neutral or objective. Constituents complained about a misuse of taxpayers' money brought Parliament into disrepute, and the letter sent out by Miss Pidcock had an intent to confer an undue political advantage on herself and the Labour Party. So the money she has to pay back is for parliamentary headed paper that she used and changed to send out a completely party political notice about the TV licence fee changes. This is not just against the rules, it's criminal in my opinion. Why isn't she in trouble? We know why. MPs are never held to account for anything other than racism, and even then it's a stern telling off at best. Absolute joke of a justice system in this country. Justice for thee, but not for me. The Commissioner has ordered Miss Pidcock to pay back £3,835.32p, which she has accepted, and also apologised for breaking the rules. We need more than an apology. In the summary of the report, the Commissioner wrote, I investigated an allegation that the member had broke the rules on the use of house-provided stationery and postage-paid envelopes by sending constituents a mailing which was party political in tone and context. In response to the allegation, the member said she had used a letter template supplied by the Parliamentary Research Service, but that she had altered the initial template to include additional content. Due to the dissolution of Parliament on 6th of November 2019, my investigation was paused until the results of the general election. Although Miss Pidcock was not returned as a member, she continued to cooperate fully when I restarted my inquiry, which is fair enough. I understand that, but she still broke the rules without any problem whatsoever other than having to pay for paper. You see the difference between rules for thee but not for me? I decided that although her original intention was to raise awareness around changes to rules for over 75's TV licences, in altering the initial template, the letter sent out in September 2019 was no longer solely written in support of the member's parliamentary functions. As a result, I found Miss Pidcock had acted in breach of the rules on stationery and had breached paragraph 16 of the Code of Conduct for members. The former member acknowledged and apologised for her inadvertent, oh, I didn't mean it, I didn't know, breach of the rules. Paragraph 16 is not really that far in either, is it? She has undertaken a refund of house authorities, £3,000, we know the price, for the misused stationery and postage. I say she should be made to walk around to every old person she tried to mislead for political power and be made to kneel and grovel and apology. Our old do not deserve to be manipulated or lied to, especially by Labour or Conservatives, the two main parties. When did looking after our elderly generations die? The left and Labour used to just irritate me. Now I'm more just disgusted by them, to be honest. How they justify this is beyond me. We need a way to hold these MPs to account. Not in regards to just job, but if they do something bad, we can try them as bad and convict them as bad. Only then will they think long term and not just till the next election? Let's continue. I consider that to be an appropriate outcome and concluded the inquiry using the rectification procedure available to me under Standing Order number 150. A letter from the complainant, a political campaigner, to the Commissioner, dated September 26, 2019, said they fully understand Miss Pidcock's desire to campaign on the government's handling of TV licence for over 75s, but said this campaign activity is not something that should be funded by the taxpayer. Exactly. And it shouldn't be used as a way to be party political if it's a House of Parliament paperwork. It should be neutral. The complainant referred to the rules for the use of stationery and postage paid envelopes provided by the House of Commons and for the use of crowned portcullis. They wrote, while members are permitted to contact residents unsolicited about a specific issue, they are not permitted to do so in a way that can be construed as campaign expenditure within the scope of the political parties. Elections and Referendums Act 2000. Additionally, the use of party political references is only permitted when a member is responding to a specific issue from a constituent. When a member is replying to correspondence, party political references are allowed in House provided stationery or in correspondence sent in prepaid envelopes, subject to the restrictions in the paragraph above. I believe that by using the taxpayers' resources in this way, the member for the North West Durham only brings Parliament into disrepute, given the public concern that MPs and their expenses since the expenses scandal of 2009, but also, according to the rules, confer an undue advantage on a political organisation. The complainant also provides examples where they consider the letter clearly crosses the line between legitimate correspondence and party political campaigning with an intent to confer an undue political advantage on herself and the political party. The letter said this Tory government has overseen the scrapping of free TV licences for the over 75s, despite their manifesto commitment to maintain free TV licences for over 75s, and has delivered yet another welfare cut to some of the most vulnerable in our society. This is a betrayal of our older citizens. I agree fully, but it's not by the Tories, it's by you, who deserve dignity in retirement and reward for their hard work. But the complainant wrote, this is a very emotive language, and in particular, the use of the words Tory, betrayal, and references to, despite their manifesto commitment, yet another welfare cut and the most vulnerable in our society, emphasise this as campaign literature, designed to confer an undue political advantage. Miss Pidcock lost her Northwest Durham seat in December's general election after narrowly losing out to a Conservative Party rival Richard Holden by a margin of 41.9%, which is 19,000 votes, to 39.5%, which is 18.8 thousand. So, thankfully, the old people that she wrote to didn't listen to her, did they, Laura? Oh dear, such a shame. Maybe our old see through you and your party's divisiveness and anti-British rhetoric. Maybe they have the experience and knowledge to totally ignore Marxist indoctrination. Who would have thought? Life experience is an extremely valuable resource, eh? Oh yeah, us. We know it is. And you should have respected the generations that come before you. Arrogance is not a virtue, it's a failure. The 32-year-old had held the seat after winning it during the general election in June 2017. She was also Shadow Secretary of State for Employment Rights under the Labour leadership of Jeremy Corbyn. Brrr. Now, what's my opinion on this? It's disgusting trying to dupe the elderly and get away with it. Using headed paper is not what it's for. It's not supposed to be party political. If it's got the portcullis on it, it should be neutral and opinion free. What I don't like about it is she's got away with it, hasn't she? Pay the money back for the paperwork? Come on. I wonder how many of those old people had their vote swayed by that paperwork. I bet it's quite a lot. She's not having to go round and apologise to them. Have you noticed that? She's just had to pay the money back to the Parliament. So effectively she's having to apologise to Parliament without apologising to the people she tried to sway and manipulate. You see what I mean with the multi-tiered justice now? And let's be honest, this is 100% getting away with it, isn't it? She never apologised, and the whole article in regards to this is more along the lines of, I'm sorry, I got caught. See ya! Isn't it? Well, anyway, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like, leave us a comment, subscribe, bell icon, share it out, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.